Hello everybody, welcome and thank you for joining me. If you are holding my Yeners Pastillage pouch and look at the back of the packaging, you will see step by step how to mix this powder with water to make a pliable paste, and also some additional information about the handling and storage. Well, of course, seeing is better than reading for sure, so that is why with this short video I also like to show you visually how to mix, handle and store my Yeners Pastillage properly and get the best out of this wonderful paste. Let's start. For the mixing process, you can choose a couple of different methods. I like to show you my preferred method and talk about others later on. So what I have over here, 30 to 35 centimeter mixing bowl, which is, can choose stainless steel, glass or plastic, doesn't matter. It is this size because I want to have a comfort when I'm mixing it, the powder doesn't spill around, doesn't fly around, etc. And I need to have a strong wooden spoon because pastillage is a little bit firm paste though. I need to have strong spoon like this. It doesn't break when I'm using it. You can also choose to use silicone spatula, and additionally one scraper with a round edge like this will help you to take out everything out of the bowl. Second and last ingredient is the water. So I need to have 60 gram water for one pouch. Why 60 gram? Because to measure 60 gram to find the equipment is very easy. Another reason is you can convert 60 gram to other measurements very easy. So the equipment wise, something like this, 60 milliliter makes it 60 gram. Or you can of course take a coffee cup here on the digital scale, measure 60 gram, very easy. You can also choose from the digital scale liquid ounces. Exactly 2 liquid ounces is 60 gram, very, very close. Or of course, my prefer is using quarter cup liquid measurement device. All right. So that is also very, very close to 60 gram. When you're filling up those equipments, you may make a mistake for 1 or 2 gram. It doesn't really matter much at the end. All right. So let's do now the mixing. The pouch made out of a very strong food grade material. It has a Ziploc resealable area and also a hot seal on the top. And because of this strength, we can sort of like give you at least best before date 3 years. And if you don't want to use the whole powder mix inside, you can take maybe the half and then you can reseal again, keep it the remaining in the room temperature. Make sure you don't introduce any moisture in the remaining powder, like don't use any wet spoon or something in there. So it has a little slit over here. We can tear this off from the hot seal area without using any scissor. So tear this part off and open the seal and empty this powder into the bowl. All right. First thing we do, we make a little well in the center because we're going to start mixing from the center. And I can just fill up this one all the way to the top and put it in, but I'd like to show you it's actually also the quarter of a cup is a 60 gram. So if I be careful and go slowly, I'll fill up this one to 60 gram. Okay, that is 60 gram. But if I continue a little bit more, I will still fill up more. It will not going to be spill over. So if you do it, that mistake, just to put a couple of more gram, it doesn't really matter. All right, just pour this in the center. Okay, now take our spoon and slowly mixing from the center out. So basically what I'm aiming here, to make sure that all the water absorbed by the powder and create a sort of like a wet sand kind of texture. In that stage, you may feel that I need some more water, but don't put any more water because the water is exact the amount. Actually, we're going to finish the mixing on the table, not inside the bowl. All right. So you see that the size of the bowl is just comfortable. All what I'm trying to do is like the moisture, the water is disappeared. It becomes the icing sugar look like a wet sand. More taking time here in this stage, it makes the next stage much more easier. Also, like if this one nicely incorporated, your hands will not gonna be sticky, messy, and it will be clean mixing, right? So I can feel that now is okay. Okay, let's get this on the table. Continue. All right. Okay. Okay. Empty the bowl to the table. Make sure that you clean the tabletop beforehand. Everything out. Okay, this one will also need it. So keep it together. You can also do that a little bit before you're mixing. Okay, I'm gonna start now. Get my hands in. See that as soon as that I touch, the paste start developing. So once I have that paste in the middle, slowly we're gonna incorporate the remaining powder into it. Using the paste like scraper, get everything in the middle. So this is only possible to mix it by hand on the table surface. But I'm going to explain you a little later how you can do it with machine help. So just put the paste on it, stick the powder, and then get it together. So now, as I explained, there is a sort of like a step-by-step mixing method written behind the packaging. It's also say that you add a little bit of starch and then continue mixing another minute. That's what I'm going to do now. I have my. It feels a little bit wet at the moment, but as soon as I put this little bit of starch and then continue mixing, it will become very, very nice feeling. We continue a little bit more further. You see nothing left on the table. And also my hands are pretty clean. I will still wash my hands, but it's reasonably without a mess. One last time. Okay, now my paste is ready to use. So I can take this and do anything I want. But having said that, I like to give you a little bit more important information. There is a multiple number of gums inside. Every gum has got different duty, and then every gum, it doesn't incorporate with the mixture, doesn't develop in the same time. So there is some gums over here need to rest a little bit longer. So I can work with this no problem at all at the moment, but if I keep this till tomorrow and then mix it again one more time, I will have a best result. Okay, so what I do now, I'm going to take that 18 by 17 centimeter sandwich bag. All right. So I just make sure that I have a little bit of starch on the surface when I'm pushing this one inside, and it will make it easy to take it out again. All right. Just push it in like this. Our aim is to reduce the air what left in the bag. So basically, I can push this one like that, flatten again, push again, flatten again, and then what I do, I fold this way, and then push this one, close the ziplock, and if I just do that and push it again, that's already good enough. But I show you something a little bit more further in detail. All right. If I do that, and I put a plastic straw inside here. Some of you may think about this is unhygienic, but it's not, because what I like to do, I'm going to take the remaining air out by just sucking the air, not blowing inside. If you blow it inside, if you blow the air inside, that will be unhygienic, but I'm just taking out. That's it. Last bit of air taken out, and it will be nicely stored. And I have another piece which I done yesterday. I like to show you now the difference. So, and I touched this one here. I done this mixture yesterday, rested overnight. So everything is over here nicely done. But when I said that you have to knead again, I like to show you that the difference, what I mean. This one is soft, now newly mixed it, and this is mixed yesterday. So let me just clean up and show you what's the difference. Okay, I have this 3 example in front of me. This one I just mixed. It is still soft, and I can just take it out from the back and start using for any purpose, like rolling and drying, making figurines or flowers or whatever I want to do. All right. This one I mixed yesterday. As you see that the softness is here, but it's not there. This is a bit harder. But this one I mixed 1 month ago. It is soft. Not as soft as this, but this is still soft. All right. So between this and that, the difference is I mixed this one when I done it 1 month ago. Next day I mixed again. I re-knead again and then pack again into the double bag. So it goes in the bag and then take the air out, sucking out, and I put in the second bag, just eliminate any kind of like a corner crusting, corner drying, etc. All right. So this is ready to use with a little knead. This is also ready to use. But this one I have to re-knead again. So let me do this one, show you and show you how does it feel. All right. So push a little bit down. This one down. Take it out. All right. Now you have to give a bit of knead. Like this. It starts a bit difficult, but become very easy just after a few pushes. All right? That's it. Goes inside here. Okay, now what I like to do, I like to explain you now how can you make the mixing with other methods. Now, first alternate method is to get the powder put on the table instead of putting in the bowl. All right. So exact same thing. Put the powder on the table, and then make sure that it's like a nice and round, And in the middle, you make a valve, like open up the center and make sure that your crater has got the walls and then water cannot run around, okay? And pour your 60 gram water inside and then start mixing from center without breaking the wall, otherwise the water will run out. And after that, you bring the liquid water into like a creamy texture, and after that, mix everything together and using scraper, because don't put your hands in there because it will be quite messy. And after that, you get all the powder together and do this. Continue doing this till you get that wet sand texture. After that, leave the scraper and then get your hands in and start mixing, do the exactly same thing. Now, if you want to use mixers, for example, let's say from the handheld mixers, which has got the spiral shape of hook that to make the pizza dough or something. Well, that's not really the right way. I don't think you can achieve with the handheld mixer to get this result because it's too strong for that little poor machine. All right. I mean, you can bring to the like a wet stand stage and after you continue by hand, but it doesn't make sense because if you have to do that, why you have to use a machine? All right. But having said that, if you have bench or the other way, sort of called stand mixer, like a strong, like a kitchen mixers and everything, but it's standing on the table, not handheld. That is possible with a hook, like with this. But the tricky part is when you place your powder inside the machine, inside the bowl, you only use the 2/3 or a 3/4 of water inside and start mixing the machine with the hook, slowly to get the wet sand texture. And after that, using in the same speed, slowly, you add the rest of the water in second stage. You will see that as soon as you put the remaining water, the paste come together and you can whip together and then you can mix together. And also like adding that starch texture, additional starch at the end, you can just adding into the machine. And then you will see that the paste will be just accumulate in the center. It will be wonderfully done, no problem at all. So if you have like a larger than what we're doing now, if you want to do it like a 2 kilo mixture together, then you need, of course, the planetary mixers, that much more stronger mixers. That is the same thing. You put the powder inside, calculate your water, and after that, you put the 3/4 or 2/3 of the water first, create the wet sand texture. Then after that, you put the remaining water and mixing together, adding some starch inside additionally. That's it. Then you pack them also, the mixture, into like one big sort of plastic bag. After that, you can mix it together next day and divide it into that half a kilo mixes, and that is really quite useful, this amount, not bigger than that. So in the long term, of course, storage is the possible to have that into like these portions, put them together into a kind of like airtight container. Let's say you're putting this one like maybe 6 of them into airtight container and then close the lid. They will be also nice to keep it, and then you can keep this as mixture like that. So when we're saying that the powder on the shelf for 3 years, even more than that, but if you have this one, you can also keep it quite a long time. I would say at least a month or two, as long as you have protected from the air. So once you start using it and you realize that you didn't do it the right thing. So when you take it out of the plastic, there's a little corner, crusty corner. Do not start the mix together. You remove that little crusty, hard, stony corner, and then the remaining softer part, you mix it together into a paste that you can use it, no problem at all. Now, what I like to do is, I like to answer the question of why pastillage so significant? What is the difference between pastillage and gum paste? How far we can go with the gum paste, and where is the limitation and starts, and then like a pastillage to take over that particular task that can achieve quite easily. I like to give you a couple of little samples, and then we can see that in a very short while what is the difference between gum paste and pastillage. Before I start showing you a few examples for the comparison between pastillage and gum paste, I want to make sure that there will be no misunderstanding. My aim is not downgrading the qualities of gum paste. Pastillage has different qualities. Because it has no fat content, that is why it is more stable and dries absolutely rigid much quicker, unlike gum paste. This is pastillage, and this is one of the commonly used gum paste. All right. So I like to measure exactly same amount and give you my pencil test. All right. So that is a small piece. How many gram is that? 18 gram. $22, 17, and 18. All right. So this is gum paste and this is pastillage. All right. So let's do the gum paste first. You have to always give a good knead, of course. You must make some oil spray available and cornstarch available on the table to use it for some stages, all right? So for some cases. So at the moment, is because I'm dealing for such a small thing, I don't have to worry about anything, just do it. Always start with a round bowl. I make sure at the moment, make it exactly pencil-like. There will be no weakest point in somewhere in the middle, all right? So that goes here. See that pastillage is exactly like a gum paste in a kind of condition, but it dries differently. Same size. All right, that comes here. First one is the gum paste, second one is the, what do you call, pastillage. Now, second thing I like to do is the butterfly wings, all right? So one small piece, pastillage, and small piece of gum paste. Gum paste first. I'm going to roll this as thin as paper, all right? This time I use starch. Okay, that is pretty thin. All right, put it here and roll the pastillage. Okay, pretty much the same size. I'll leave this one for a few minutes. I'll do the next thing, then after I will cut. All right. Another example is I like to do curling some the kind of spikes and branches that you can add to your flower arrangements. Something like that. Something curly, something wiggly. That is the pastillage. And that is the, so I like to put this over here so we don't have to mix up. That's the, over this side is the gum paste and the lower side is the pastillage. All right. So that was the pastillage. Pastillage, gum paste. Now I roll this one. I roll this one equal, the same as pencil. This one is like a very fine, very thin, also level. But this time I'm going to roll from thick to thin. All right. So I'm not going to read this part. I'm not going to this part all the way down, but this one all the way 0. This is exactly periodically coming from thick to thin. All right. Like fishing rod. All right. This this one stay like this. Then pastillage. We can also use a little bit oil later on. Or you can use also with your hands, so it doesn't stick to your hands anything. Same size. Clean knife. Okay, now I like to do it like a very thin starting and gradually also going thicker. Same as the thickness, the width also, same side of nature, right? And the second one. From thick to thin. All right, now, what we do with this one, that was the gum paste. We do like a sort of like a doing like this and going like this, like a branch. And this one I give a little bit of like a sort of like wiggly bits, all right? Something like that. All right, do the same thing with pastillage also. This was a bit too thick. Okay. Pastillage. This is the gum paste. All right. This also rolling like this. Okay, and then this one has also some wiggly part. All right, like that. What's the next? I like to do some conical kind of thing. It's like I'm gonna make like exactly like this, but the conical and round, and make it like a spiral. Say this is enough. Measure. I want to do this exact same weight. 13 gram. 13 gram. All right, watch this. That is gum paste. I want to do like very, very sharp edge, like a needle. Okay. Okay, like that. And after that, make this as a base. All right, now watch this one. I'm going to put this on the table, all right, and then start turning. So look at this. It's just like a if I leave it like this, it's standing. That's a gum paste, right? But I'm struggling a little bit like to hold it in the shape. Okay, just balance it and put it here. And I do this with the pastillage now. Make sure it's like a very pinnacle without any sort of weakest point. All right. Want to make also the base flat. It's exactly the same size. All right. So I do the same thing. Push it down to the base, and after that turn. Okay. Spend a bit like time to balance it. Okay. Now it's balanced. All right. And I put on the side here. All right. Now, if you're watching that, balance it first. Yeah. Watching that. This is already moving slowly down. All right. Moving slowly down. But this one, it will be, because it's already getting sort of firmer and harder, it will maintain its shape. Okay. Push this one out a little bit again. Again. Just help a little bit. Give some more chance to gum paste. All right. And then let's see what happens. So what will happen now, I'm going to give a minute, all right, actually we can do it now, no problem at all. All right, so this is the gum paste. That is what it looks like. Butterfly wing. Gum paste. That is pastillage. Pastillage. So, all the exercise is already done. As you see, that is the gum paste is losing their stable condition, it's moving down, and pastillage is maintain this spiral shape and standing in the right condition. All right. So now, what I like to do, I'm going to take a few minutes, like just go to my living room, and then after that have a coffee. So how long I do this? Maybe half an hour, 1 hour, and I'll come back and I'll show you the difference. So I think it is past about less than 45 minutes. So let's try that, what's happening here. So I'm going to lift up now with my 2 finger and 1 finger the gum paste pencil up. See what's happening. That's the result. All right. And if I lift up my pastillage exactly the same time I did, that's what's happening. That will hold itself. If you give a bit more time, like maybe till tomorrow or something, you will have this kind of strength that you can work with that very, very easily. So when I look at this spiky bit, so that is what's happening. So it is still holding, but not reliable. You see that slowly falling down. It has to be the weight much more longer. All right. So this one, it holds. All right. Same thing for this. This is the gum paste. All right. And this one is the pastillage. All right. So if you don't experience that, you will not understand the difference exactly. So if you come to the butterfly wing, so that is still very, very soft. I mean it's not very soft, but it's just moving so drastic. So I cannot take this one and put it in the body so to make the butterfly. But if that is much more firmer. It's standing. If I give a little bit more time, I can just add it to the body. It will stand. All right. So according to this, about this spiral, so that is already lost to height, and then also bend it to the side slightly. So you have to give much more attention to keep it into the shape. But this one is already holding its shape, even on the side like that. All right. So exactly the same time used, and that's this one. So it is already slightly moving down. Lost its shape. So with this couple of little experiences, little experimental work, it's clearly understandable what pastillage has different qualities. So I wouldn't say this is a game changer, but it is a new door opener, I would say. So if you're having pastillage in your kitchen, beyond or beside all the other paste, that you have a new door open, and you can be much more thinking creatively. So you can imagine things which is much more gravity defined, and then like more extensions and keep things in the air, etc. And you make a ribbon and it doesn't really fall off. You can just create all those things without any problem with pastillage. Just to talk about a few more things before I forgot. It is quite obvious that pastillage may not be so silky as fondant or gum paste because of its fat-free nature. On the other hand, it is quite understandable or forgivable, so because of this reliable strength and like a time-saving attitude. Another thing is, if you came across that it has a few little lumps in the paste after mixing, so that means the paste was not kneaded enough, or stored probably after the storage. All right, so that is sort of like it's not a really big problem. You just have to knead further down to make this smooth texture. So if you feel the paste is too firm, for some cases like you want to model or you want to roll some large pieces, just add a little bit more water at a time, a spoon at a time. Bring the paste into your preferred consistency. All right, with your comfort. And for some cases that you need to come out with something very strong and very quickly, you don't have much time and you are in the desperate of making, let's say, a tree trunk, and you're going to put the bird on it. So what you do, you just take the pastillage, desired amount, put it in a microwave, just a few seconds, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and after that pastillage get immediately softer, and it allows you to put more icing sugar inside. Work quickly, make your tree trunk ready, and then it will be no problem at all. It's very, very short time. You can put things on top of it. It will be much more reliable. So with this kind of exercise, what we have seen now, as I said, that new doors open, and you can be much more flexible, much more creative. Imagine you're going to do like a figurine, like arms like that. So if you do it with the usual paste, like gum paste or fondant or whatever, you need to have kind of internal support inside, internal wire inside, flexible wire inside. With the pastillage, you just have to shape the arm and then let it on the side for a while, maybe just 10-15 minutes. After that, put it on with a glue, desired glue. I use chocolate, so that will be all possible without any kind of complexity, without any complications. That is all from me, guys, for this time. Please sign up for updates, for more training videos and newsletters to our website. I hope this video shows you how simple and comfortable to work with my Yeners Pastillage, unlike classic quick drying homemade recipes. If you have any question, please email to info@yenerspastillage.com. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and thank you for having my pastillage in your kitchen.